We're just experiencing another beautiful day in beautiful Ohio. Alright guys, in all seriousness, it's time for a detailing series video. This is going to be the preface to everything I do on the M5. So the M5 is, I just had it for probably 3 weeks now. It's carbon black and the paint is trashed. I don't know if it's ever been fully detailed or corrected or anything like that. We may find that out upon detailing it, but this video is going to be telling you exactly what to expect from the detailing series. I have probably close to 10 videos realistically that will be coming out as part of my full process. I've done similar things on the Jeep and the M3 and a couple other vehicles that have been on my channel, but this thing is going to get the works. This particular detailing series is going to be on the paint correction. So I'm not going to be taking the wheels off, I'm not going to be doing the interior or the engine bay, and I'm not going to be doing the trim this weekend. I have one of my buddies, Sam, he's going to come in and he has a machine he's going to be bringing for paint correction at 21, and he's going to be tag teaming the paint correction and polishing with it, polishing of the car with me. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. So to start out, we're going to be focusing on the paint, as I mentioned. The trim and all that stuff is going to be taken care of as well, but in the next few days in this whole series, the paint is really what we're going to be focusing on. So the first thing that I always do is a full wash. It's going to be Adam's strip wash because I haven't tried it, and it is sort of a good first step to do a wash. A bunch of other stuff, Chemical Guys has stuff I've used in the past. I know Matt from Obsessed Garage uses the citrus red that he swears by, but I have the strip wash from Adam, so we're going to be using that. A full wash. I will be doing the wheels as well, although I will not be fully detailing them. The wheels will be clean. So after we do the full wash, what I'm probably going to do is, you know, once you wash it, there's going to be water on the car. So the point of a full wash is really to remove anything that's on it. Some people use Dawn if they're kind of new to detailing. It's sort of that. So you want to remove any waxes or sealants. Chances are you're not going to be removing a coating if it is on the vehicle, and I don't think anything is on the M5, and I don't think anything's been on the paint from a protection standpoint in quite some time. So that'll be fine from a removal of protection, but my main concern is removing the dirt. So Adam's strip wash, and we will probably blow off the car, but I'm not going to do a full dry, which I usually don't, because the next step after that is going to be a decontamination phase, which might be pretty involved on this car, because even when I wash it with my wash mitt, with soap and shampoo, I can still hear the wash mitt against the paint, which some guys do, you know, the plastic bag test. I don't even need a plastic bag to be able to feel that this thing is crazy contaminated. So it'll need at least one iron out for the paint. It might need two. I've been talking to my buddy Mike. He did his daughter's wagon, BMW wagon. It was like an 08, and he said he had to do 2 full iron out processes. So this car might even need 2, depending on how it reacts. You know, the second time we'll probably just go around and see if it needs it again and also feel it. I will do most likely do a standard clay bar. I've been using the Nanoskin Auto Scrub Pad, which is just the same as a clay bar, but this car is heavily contaminated. So if anything, I'm going to be using a full clay bar, and we're not doing the trim this weekend, so I'll have a little bit more time, I think, doing a full clay bar. And then after the clay, we will rinse it, dry it, pull it in the garage, and then the next day we will be doing taping and the prepping for wet sanding. Speaking of wet sanding, I picked up this little guy, which a lot of you guys hopefully know what this thing is. It's called the Rupes Hybrid Nano. It is a small little, you know, sort of toothbrush style detailing device that is great for a handful of different applications. Obviously the battery's actually in now. So this thing is really sweet. Let me tell you about it in just one second. Let me put it back. I got the full case here. I got the wet sanding, I got the polishing, I got every single thing, and all the attachments that you can possibly buy. To preface the wet sanding, there's going to be probably at least one dedicated wet sanding video. What happened to that M5 is it looks like someone was drying or washing with a rag that had, or rag or washment or whatever, that had a stone or something in it. And it's not crazy deep scratches, but it's deep enough that I'm pretty confident that compounding is not going to get it out. So instead of wet sanding with a big, large random orbital, or even my Nano, or even my Mini, I have a 75E Mini Rupes, that is a much bigger pad. So that's 3, 4, 5 inches why would you wet sand that entire surface if you only really need to take care of a few scratches, which I think that car needs. So there's probably 5 to 8 deeper scratches that we're going to be taking care of with this kit from Rupes, and it comes with wet sanding. I think it's like 2,000 and 3,000 grit. I'll probably use 3,000 or whatever the least aggressive is and do 1 or 2 passes, and that's probably all I'll do. Then we'll compound, then we'll polish. So there's going to be a dedicated wet sanding videos, and there's also going to be dedicated videos to why I bought this thing, which is very expensive, but there's lots of nooks and crannies on this car and a lot of cars in general that you just can't fit a polisher. Even the Mini, the 75E, which is a smaller one, it's a 3 or 4 inch polisher, I don't remember. I feel like it's 3 or 4 inch. And I actually do have a Kevin Brown 2 inch attachment for it. If you guys are, hopefully you guys are versed in the Rupes polishers, but the Nano is very self-explanatory. The door jams, the cracks, the crevices, you know, around fog lights, around bumpers, any sort of area, or under the door handle, those especially need a very defined focused area. The focus areas are going to be big on this car. It is mostly going to be needing a 2-step correction. Once we're done with the focus areas, what I'll probably do, but really to hone in on what focus areas I need, I'll probably just put pieces of tape on the areas that have the deeper scratches, and then I'll also take care of the harder to reach areas with the Rupes Hybrid Nano. So after that, after I have wet sanded, I will also be doing a 2-step correction. I would love to do a 1-step, but it's black. I'll have to experiment, you know, I'll have to do, you know, a few test panels just to see how the paint's gonna be reacting. All right, so you'll have to excuse the rain. It's like literally pouring down rain right now outside. So anyways, back to detailing. The correction that I'm gonna be using, the correction compound that I'm gonna be using is this Jescar correcting compound. I usually use Menzerna FG400, which is good, but it does a little more than I feel like it could. Obviously you're doing a lot of work when you're correcting paint, but this stuff is supposed to be really good. It's supposed to finish really well. This will be the corrective stage right after the wet sand, and then it will most likely finish with Sonac's Perfect Finish on like a yellow pad or something like that on the whole car. So it's sort of a 3-step if you think about it. Wet sanding the focus areas, correcting the full car everywhere, and then the last step is going to be the polishing step with Sonac's Perfect Finish. I have CarPro Eraser and microfibers to wipe it down after we're fully done correcting and polishing the surface. So after that, I have something totally different, which I've never done, and as far as protection goes. So protection for the paint in regards to like a sealant or a wax or a coating. Originally I wanted to do a coating. I was leaning towards the Kamikaze brand. The ISM and Miyabi combos really appealed to me. They're easy to apply, they look good, they would look awesome on a black car. But I have a little fear against water spots and sort of spot maintenance and stuff like that on a car that's going to be driven frequently. I know a coating is good for a car that's going to be getting a lot of abuse per se, but I wanted something easier, I wanted something cheaper, and I kind of wanted something different. And I do not want to do the Colinite with the Power Lock combo. I've done it so many times and I know it works well, but in my opinion it's not a good winter or daily option. I don't think it holds up well enough in lots of rain, salt, fallout, anything like that. I think that the wax breaks down quick, and the Power Lock doesn't really do that much when it's just standing alone by itself, even if you take good care of it. So for a car that's gonna be sitting outside a lot, at least right now, I didn't want to do that. So doing something a little similar to that, it's something called Polish Angel. So this is Polish Angel Master Sealant. This is a man-made sealant, very similar to any other hand application sealant that you'd be putting on your paint. It is very strong. It lasts probably about 12 months in good upkeep, which I will be doing, of course. You guys will be able to see that. And I'm going to be doing 2 coats of this. I talked to Todd actually when I picked it up at Esoteric. Thank God. This stuff is actually a little bit harder to get than your average sealant that you might find online or really in stores or anywhere, because you know, it's German made and they only kind of make a certain amount. It's not really appealing to the masses like a lot of other stuff. So 2 coats of this Polish Angel Master Sealant. Don't try to convince me otherwise because I already bought it. And on top of the Master Sealant, after the 2 coats, this is also Polish Angel Rapid Wax. So as you guys can see, we're kind of doing a sealant wax step, just like we've done with Powerlock and Colonite. So this was something a lot of the detailing guys that you know, I talk to on a regular basis, they really like it. This was the other choice with the other option was the Kamikaze stuff, as I mentioned. But this is Rapid Wax. This is going to give it the more shine. It's going to give it that top layer. It's sort of the sacrificial layer if there was bird droppings or something etching. Hopefully this is what catches that. And after the first application of this, I will be doing sort of a re-application / maintenance about once a month. We'll have to see how it goes. But that's what this is for. So that is going to be it for the protection for the M5. So I tried to be very detailed, but not too detailed for you guys, because I will be going into more details as, I just said detail like 20 times. I'll be going into more details as I'm actually doing the car, regards to the spot treatment, the corners, the door jambs, anywhere that is a very special area I will be doing. I will be doing an overall video, so I'll be doing at least a single video for correction, for example. So I'll show you 50-50 shots, especially on this black paint. There are some rock chips on the front of the car. I'm not going to be addressing those right now. In the future, I will probably be doing something like Dr. Color Chip or something to fill them in manually. I'll be very careful and very specific about doing that. But right now, my biggest concern on the car is the paint itself. So after we do all of the paint, I will be doing a wheels off detail afterwards, which I know sounds a little silly, but from a time perspective, it's just not going to work out. So the paint is the biggest task to deal with from a detailing standpoint on this car. And then the wheels will be done, as I mentioned, and the trim as well. I will be claying, you know, the windows. I will probably be doing a detail on the windows as well. I will be polishing out any water spots if they need it, if the windows need that. I really don't want to be polishing the windows if I don't have to. And that's just because polishing glass sucks, because it's glass, it's not paint. It's not as easy to work with, essentially, because if there's hard water spots built up on glass, there's a reason why they're still there, is because they're pretty intense. That is gonna do it, guys. I think that really wraps it up. I'm so excited to use this Rupes hybrid Nano, and my Mini, and my buddy Sammy's gonna be here, so we're gonna be going crazy. Feel free to leave any comments below. I will try my very best to include any questions or any content that you guys want to see, because after this video is done, I will be already probably starting to work on the car itself, at least with the wash and, you know, like the taping and stuff like that. So I have a new badge for the back, I have a license plate frame, I have a few things. Oh, I didn't mention the exhaust. That I need to back it up on some Rhino ramps and just take some steel wool to it, because that is a complete mess right now. It's unfortunate I can't do 100% every single thing, but that will come with time. We don't want to rush things, guys. We don't want to rush. It's about the process, and it's about learning along the way. So that is, I'm so freaking excited. You have no idea. Like everyone and their mother, you know, no matter what I'm doing to this car, I can be talking about, you know, what it's like to drive, and then there's still like comments on comments like, oh, you need to do paint correction still, you know, when's the paint correction? Well, it's happening in a few days from this video. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys next time. All right, so this is in no way a good overview of the condition of this car, but as you can see, I would never normally do this. This car is trashed. That will probably be the one and only time I drag my finger on this paint, is to illustrate for you guys how dirty this car is. Being a black car, this is black car status here. It's filthy. Oh, the sun makes it look even worse. Like look. It's terrible. So I'm enjoying touching the paint. I normally don't get to do that without wanting to jump off a bridge or something. But anyways, yeah, you can see, you know, tons of puddles. This thing's not bad in the rain, although I will tell you the Jeep is such a beast. You know, this thing just doesn't match up to it, but it does get a little fun with the rear.